Hey guys, welcome to the Snatch tutorial. I wanted to make this tutorial because I think the Snatch is probably the most complex of all kettlebell movements, and it is a movement that is made out of three of the major kettlebell movements. So if you are working through these three movements and you haven't mastered them, and I mean your form isn't good still, or maybe you are just getting started with those three, I would probably skip the Snatch, stick with those three and substitute them whenever you see the Snatch, and then work your way through it until you reach a point where you have mastered all of those three, because then you can connect them all. What are those three movements? They are the single arm swing, the single arm clean, and the military press. So again, it is the single arm swing, single arm clean, and military press. So I'm going to demonstrate all of them and then go into the Snatch and break down the Snatch. So single arm swing here. I'm going to do 3 reps here. The clean here. And the press. All right, now that you've seen those three, if you are comfortable with those three, you can move into trying the Snatch. The Snatch really is the connection of all of those movements. The power comes from your hips and the elbow stays as close to the body as possible. All right, so most people make the mistake with the Snatch where they go out and then the bell has to flip over, and that really ends up being painful for the wrist. Also, the other thing that people do a lot on the Snatch is they grip the kettlebell so tight that the kettlebell won't naturally flip. So you're going to hike the bell through the legs. You're going to create a lot of power from the hips. The elbow will go back. As you stand up, it goes close to the body, as if you're going to clean it, right? Goes close to the body, flips here, and then it's a military press, all right? So it is 3-part movement. It's a hike, it's a elbow close to the body, you're coming up, it's all from the hips. It's going to be a close arm travel, and the bell will flip somewhere here, and then you're going to military press it towards the end, all right? I suggest having chalk. This is your simple climber's chalk, but be creative. Chalk is super helpful with Snatches. If you haven't used chalk yet, I highly suggest you purchase this $3 block, $4, and you can get it at any sporting goods store, but it really helps flip the kettlebell, and it also comes in liquid, so if you don't want to make a mess, you can buy a liquid form. All right, the Snatch is going to look like this. You're going to shift your weight back, add that tension in the body, take that lat, engage the lat. You're going to swing through the legs and stand up. Now, if you don't want to drop the bell, you can just bring it down through the legs and back, all right? So if you're just starting out, maybe that's all you do first. You're gonna go here, here, bring it down through the legs and out, all right? So with the kettlebell Snatch, as you saw me, I went straight from a hip hinge into a hip snap. I actually exhaled as my hips snapped. So the exhalation doesn't happen when the kettlebell is up here. The exhalation actually happens as the hips straighten, because you're trying to create force and power so that the kettlebell can reach the top. all right? Because you're not really doing this with your arm, you're doing this with your entire body. And a lot of people make that mistake when they first start snatching. They suck it with the arm so hard that it actually turns out being one of the hardest things they ever do. So, how does the bell travel from here back down? You're literally just retracing your steps. You start with the hips, elbow comes down and out through the legs, back down. All right, so it's really not anything different than what you just did. It's just going to be hips initiate the movement, and then the kettlebell will come through the legs. But again, the most important thing is that the elbow does not reach far forward, because if the elbow reaches forward, the kettlebell will flip too late and it will hit you, and it will, fall really low through your legs, where you want to be super tight inside of your thighs. All right, so I'm going to show it again, and we're going to go into what it looks like to do like a couple of them in a row. All right, so I'm going to show you how I come down from this. So here, gonna grab it. All right, so the kettlebell, the hips will go first, the elbow then comes second, and then it's going to drop through the legs. All right, so here. All right, so you can swing a few of them and string them together, but what I want you to do is, if you are not feeling confident on the way down, you can snatch it, and then from here you can go down, set it down. That's it. If the coming down doesn't feel good, that is absolutely okay, you will get there. But the most important thing from the top is to initiate with your hips, and then the arm follows. So here, all right, allow the hips to move slightly before you drop, all right? And make sure you're dropping through your thighs, all right? There is a drill that you can do with this. If you have something like TRX bands hanging or longer bands hanging, you can perform the snatch close to the bands, so that when you're snatching, it reminds you that you can't touch this. Otherwise, that means the elbow went out too far. So that you can absolutely try that drill where you snatch so that you're not touching the bands, all right? And the closer you are, the more attention you have to pay to that. Okay, that is it, my first little tutorial. Whoever tries this should absolutely 100%ly give me a video. So this is one of those things that I want a video on if you try it. And I know it's a pain in the butt, and especially if you're in a gym full of people, but it's only 30 seconds. You can do it. I would rather you do that than do it wrong and then get hurt. All right. That's it. Have fun snatching.